Alright, what's going on, guys, for the project, aka Dave Rivera, back at it again in here for another video for you guys for today, and in here for another episode of Pro Wrestling Today. And in today's episode, well, I am going to be in here for mainly one topic, and a topic that I haven't talked about in quite some time, and that is TNA, aka Impact Wrestling, aka now looking to be rebranded as of today. I've been hearing the talks and rumors and stuff like that going into this weekend, into today, because it is for Slammiversary. Not so much predictions on Slammiversary on that note, but it is talking about, yes, TNA, aka Impact Wrestling, now being known as Global Force Wrestling. So, with this being said, we have seen the changes as of late. Some of the Global Force wrestlers now being a part of Impact Wrestling. We've seen even the titles be a part of the show and even defended at the shows now. So they're also going to be defended tonight on Slammiversary. So it's going to be the last pay-per-view that will have the Impact Wrestling name, and then moving forward into the next upcoming weeks, into months and forward, it will be now known as Global Force Wrestling, thanks to Jeff Jarrett being part of Global Force, if you will, or TNA again, and everything. So the Jarrett's being back, I think that's a really great fit. I will say that I wasn't too sure how I felt about the name change, since they just recently changed it to Impact Wrestling, and it really hasn't been around for far too long, for quite a bit. And now that we get this name change once again, so hopefully it will stick, it will stay, and it'll be the permanent name for TNA or Impact Wrestling, or it's basically now known as Global Force Wrestling. So it's really about, getting used to it, since I am trying to get used to it as of right now, since I kind of thought, have Impact Wrestling be its own show, and then have Global Force kind of be like the second show, like a Raw or a SmackDown Live. That's where I thought they were going to go about things and everything, but it is going to be, as a whole, Global Force Wrestling. So we've seen a little bit too, going around a while back, the actual start of Global Force Wrestling, having the house shows and stuff like that. I haven't really fully seen, an actual show and stuff, but, I've been seeing going around, the house shows and other stuff going on, just starting the process of building up Global Force Wrestling and stuff like that, with the roster, with the championship titles and everything, and now bringing it into more mainstream, if you will. So I expect some really interesting changes, especially with the set itself, with the Tron and everything, and with the ring. I'm sure everything will basically be green now, since that is basically the colors for Global Force Wrestling. Possibly even some new stars coming in and everything else. So more of a calmer state for Global Force Wrestling, and actually having, someone running the shows and stuff like that, like a manager and stuff like that. Like, they have been having more authority figures, which is well needed. So that's really good to have in any show. And yeah, not a whole lot to really say about Global Force as of right now, since it's just basically getting rebranded and stuff. But I wanted to touch at least a little bit on it, on what's been going on. So, in terms of, regular wrestling videos, they haven't been around nearly as much, since I've been more into, other stuff, and like video games and stuff like that. So I'm not a whole lot really going on. I actually might start up a vlog again very soon, so we'll have to wait and see on that. But with that being said, just really enjoying the summer and everything, getting ready for the weeks ahead. So got a lot to look forward to coming for this summer. So yeah, that's my own thoughts and opinions basically on Global Force Wrestling. Basically being able to be with TNA and Impact Wrestling, and now being as a whole, overall, as Global Force Wrestling and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And I also heard too, kind of in a side note too, on possibly another on-demand service like WWE Network coming pretty soon. So that should be interesting to see, having all the Global Force Wrestling stuff, basically all the TNA and Impact Wrestling stuff on there. Maybe we get some indie stuff on there too, and have it go something kind of like the Fight Network, since I'm looking to check more stuff on that pretty soon. So yeah, so that's about it. What are your thoughts and opinions on Global Force Wrestling now being an official thing? It's going to be on a weekly basis now, and we'll see what kind of new faces that would be a part of Global Force Wrestling, some old faces and everything else, and what other changes to basically the whole setup and how it's going to be looking. And of course, we already got the logo and stuff like that. The logo is actually pretty cool with that. So there you go. Global Force Wrestling is looking to be the future. We'll see how things will hold up. Your thoughts and comments are definitely appreciated. Until then and only then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Whatever the hell that next video may be. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday fun day and the rest of the weekend going up into the next week. Until then, I'll catch you guys down in the next video. Peace. See you then.